Hello, dear ones. Welcome to the Dream Lab, a safe, inspiring place for you and God to dream without limits what you most desire to be, do, and have in your life right now. Every episode, I hold space for you to be irreplaceably you, to explore your unique design and discover your dreams as a reflection of God's heart for the world around you. I am your host, your guide, your encourager-in-chief, Christina B. Come on in to the Dream Lab. Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to another episode of the Dream Lab podcast. I'm your host, Christina B., and we are picking up where we left off in our last episode, where you envisioned your ideal future and you wrote down what you saw. If you remember in the last episode, I guided you through some meditations where you would just look and see what would be your most ideal, meaning the conception of what is in its perfect state, what would be your ideal life. And in the journaling exercise, you were to answer the following questions. What are you doing? Who are you with? Where are you living? Which doesn't necessarily mean geography, although it could. It could just mean you're living in the country as opposed to the city. What is a typical day like? And how do you feel? And in that journaling exercise, you were supposed to pay close attention to your thoughts, your emotions, and the sensations coming from your body as you recorded your vision. Now that you have written a clear picture of what living your dream life looks and feels like, the next exercise in the Dream Lab is to craft a list of 10 things that you envision yourself doing using clear and compelling present tense I am statements. Before we draft our list of 10 clear and compelling present tense I am statements, I want to review some of the definitions that we've talked about so far. And specifically, I want to talk about what are dreams. Dreams originate in your heart. When you feel fully connected to your heart and your brain are aligned, and sometimes that is called heart-brain coherence. If you have listened to anything that Greg Braden talks about, you'll know what I'm talking about. You feel a deep inner peace. You feel decreased stress, increased energy and joy. Your creativity is enhanced. You feel a greater sense of resilience and an overall improved quality of life. Dreams are the things that you most desire to do or be, the things that you find it most important for you to focus your time and attention on. Dreams can encompass both vocation, meaning things that you can do to earn a living, as well as what you value and how you choose to live your life. When you get really clear about your dreams and begin taking baby steps toward them, this is where the magic happens. God meets you where you are, and those little synchronicities of life, those little coinky-dinks, as my mom used to say, that you could not possibly orchestrate, no matter how hard you tried, begin to happen. Now, the guidelines for drafting your 10 I am statements are thus follows. Okay, you need to be audacious and dream big for you. Now, what is a really big dream for you might not be a really big dream for somebody else. This is all about you. So it is what you want to do and be most in your life right now. Number 2, even if it sounds impossible, write it down anyway. Don't judge your dreams as impossible by thinking about the how. Please stay out of your analytical mind when you're doing this list. We are not there yet. If you catch yourself thinking about obstacles like time or money or training or what have you, just stop, close your eyes, and go back to your vision. Stay out of your analytical mind. Do not think about the how. We are not there yet. Number 3, do not hold back, play full out. Now is not the time to censor yourself. So embrace whatever you see in this visioning exercise as you write down the I am statements and write down everything that you think would bring you joy and fulfillment. Number 4, I'll say it one more time in case you didn't get it. Do not think about the how. Don't think about how you will achieve your dreams. Stay out of your analytical mind and simply continue to write. Number 5, draft your whole list of I am statements in one sitting without interruption. So this is really important. You might have to turn off your phone or put it in your microwave or something and set aside a good 30, 45 minutes for you to do this exercise. Number 6, use present tense verbs. Use compelling present tense verbs, one dream per sentence. Resist the temptation to put more than one into each sentence. Okay, here is an example list of I am statements in case you are still not clear. When I am living my dreams, the life God made me to live, I am enjoying an adventurous marriage to the man of my dreams. I am strong, fit, and flexible, and in the best shape of my life. I am sleeping deeply every night. I am teaching English as a second language in a village in Kenya. I am helping families find homes they love with a six-figure real estate income. Do you see how the I am is followed by a present tense verb? Okay, you got it. I'm enjoying an adventurous marriage to the man of my dreams. I am strong, fit, and flexible in the best shape of my life. While you're drafting your list of I am statements, I want you to focus on what are you doing, who are you with, where are you living, what is a typical day like, and how do you feel? This is an exercise that you could do like once a year, maybe at the beginning of the year or the end of the year. Contemplate these areas of life as you draft your list. This might help you as well. Consider family, your spouse, children, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, church, what have you. Your social life, friendships and other relationships in your community, finances and wealth, health, spiritual, fun, recreation and travel, knowledge or intellectual development, business and career, or hobbies. And if you're still not clear of what you're going to write for your I am statements, contemplate these areas as you draft your list. What would you want to be in the next year of life? What would you want to do? What would you want to have? What would you want to learn? Where would you want to visit? How would you want to feel? What would you want to achieve? You get the idea? I think you'll get it. You can rewind and go back and listen. When I am living my dreams, the life God made me to live, I am. Now, here's where you want to hit the pause button and you want to take the next 30 to 45 minutes. And if it doesn't take you that long, that's okay too. Take the next 30 to 45 minutes to draft a list of 10 compelling present tense I am statements. And go. Okay, welcome back. Now you should have your sample list of 10. All right, if you're still struggling a little bit, I'm going to read you a list from one of the prior Dream Lab workshop participants' lists. Okay, here goes. I am living in a beautiful mortgage-free home in which I feel total peace. I am experiencing vibrant health and vitality in my whole body. I am producing films and TV shows that impact audiences worldwide. I am working from anywhere with flexibility in how, where, and when I work. I am giving six figures annually to people, projects, and business startups. I am rebuilding America's middle class through job creation. I am public speaking and teaching. I am trusting that all my needs will be met in abundance. I am creating and sustaining deep, meaningful relationships with my family and friends. I am being an executive in charge of something. So now here comes the most challenging part. And because this is on a podcast, we don't have the benefit of being in the same room or being on Zoom together. Now we have to narrow down the list. And here's why. You only have 24 hours in a day, friend. 8 of that, you're sleeping. 8 of that, you might have a full-time job. And then you have family responsibilities or what have you. So the amount of time that you're going to be able to focus on pursuing your dreams with courage might be minimal. It might be just, 5-6 hours a week. So you have to use that time really wisely, which means you can't pursue a dozen different things all at the same time. You really have to narrow the list. The other benefit of narrowing the list down to, and this is potentially the most important, is you really now want to find the center of the center, as my friend Chelsea said. You want to find the deepest, most meaningful things that you want to focus your time and attention on. So as you engage this process, I promise you, you're not losing anything. It might feel like that. It might feel like you're cutting off like a finger or something, but you're not, I promise. You are only zeroing in on the very deepest desires of your heart for right now. And it doesn't mean that you can't add one of these the next you could do it again and, this another thing would be in your top 5, but what I want to emphasize here is I don't think you're gonna lose anything, and in fact, you're gonna get to the deepest parts of what you want to do right now, okay? Here we go. Okay, I need you to grab your list, all numbered from 1 to 10, and we are going to go through them one by one, but we're going to start with the first 2 I am statements. So for the sample list that I read you earlier, I'll use that one as an example. The first 2 were I am living in a beautiful mortgage-free home in which I feel total peace. And number 2 was I am experiencing vibrant health and vitality in my whole body. If you are looking at the first 2 on your list, you're going to pick one of those. Which one of those do you want more, number 1 or number 2? And if it's challenging, and it should be, it's because you've come up with a list of 10 things that you have decided that you would absolutely love to do. So think of it this way, when you're comparing number 1 to number 2, if you could only have or do number 1 and never have or do the second one, which one is most important to you? Or the converse of that is if you could only have an or do number 2 and never have or do number 1, which one would you rather? So you're going to look at the first 2 and then you're going to pick one. And then once you pick this one, you're going to compare it to number 3 in the list. Does that make sense? And you're going to pick okay, so for example, this was actually my list. I'll disclose that now. The 10 that I read you earlier was actually my list from when I did it a while ago. I am living in a beautiful mortgage-free home in which I feel total peace, and I am experiencing vibrant health and vitality in my whole body. I'm going to choose I am experiencing vibrant health and vitality in my whole body. So then I take that one, which was number 2, and I compare it to number 3, which says I am producing films and TV shows that impact audiences worldwide. Do I want number 2 about my being healthy in my whole body? Or do I want number 3, producing films and TV shows that impact audiences worldwide? I'm going to pick vibrant health and vitality in my whole body. Do you get the picture on that? So you're going to compare number 1 and number 2, pick one. The one that you chose, you're going to cross off the one that you didn't pick. And the one that you chose, you're going to compare to the next one on the list. And you're going to keep going through the whole list until you get to the end. And you should have one that made it the whole way through. Start a clean piece of paper and write down the one on the piece of paper. Then you're going to go back to your list, which has 9 left on it. And you're going to take the next one and compare the top 2 on the list, whatever are left. And you're going to keep doing that until you've narrowed it to 5. So you're going to go through this process 5 times, basically. If you could only have that one and never have the next one, which would you choose? This forces you to get really clear. And if you get stuck and you feel kind of like a block in I cannot possibly choose, that means there's a mindset that is putting a roadblock in your pathway. You're going to continue going through the list like that, comparing the one below with the one above until you come down to 5. And if ever you get stuck, just ask yourself, if I could only do one and never the other, which one would you choose? Also, as you're moving through your list, again, don't analyze. I want you to move from your brain down into your heart and just go with your first impulse. Please don't panic. I don't want you to panic. In real life, you could have both, but the goal of this exercise is to get in touch with your deepest heart's desires. This level of clarity is crucial when you are faced with choices in life. And we're going to get to that a little bit later in another exercise that's coming down the road. When you're trying to schedule things and you have limited time, you have to make choices in life. You can't do everything, and you can't, you can only accomplish so much in a day. So this level of clarity, you're really going to need it. Okay. If you get stuck, you can rephrase the question like I have already stated. If you could only do number 1 and never do number 2, which one really matters to me? And if you say it like that, a really clear either or choice It will provide you some insights too, and I'll be really curious to see what comes up for you. As you're doing this exercise, I want you to just pay attention to how you're feeling. Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling angry, resentful? I know as I took friends through this process over the years, this was the most challenging part, and there were times, like, some people cried, some people got really frustrated with me. Um, some people felt like they were giving up on something that really mattered to them, but at the end of it, like, once they got to the end and they looked at the top 5, they all agreed that facing this challenging exercise was really important, and they were glad they did it. Okay, no people pleasing. This is your dream list, it's not somebody else's, so you can't live your life for somebody else. You only get one. You only get one on this earth, and I'm not saying this is about, like, shirking responsibilities, because if you've got children or you're caring for aging parents or what have you, like, you have to fulfill those responsibilities, but this is about your life and your dreams, not anybody else's. Okay? If you are tempted to say, "I can't choose," or "I won't choose," because they're both important, then there is a hidden mindset acting as a roadblock for you. So ask God to show you what you can't see. Ask God to show you what's there and see what comes up. Okay, remember the purposes of this exercise is to drill down and to give you a manageable list of things that you can incorporate into your life. Continue comparing the things on your list until you get through the whole list and narrow everything down to 5. All right, welcome back. Congratulations. You faced everything. You faced narrowing your list. This is the most challenging exercise in the whole workshop, in my opinion, because it really forces you to get clear. It absolutely drives you into clarity. So now that you have your top 5, I want to read you the sample top 5 list from the person whose top 10 or list of 10 I am statements that I read to you a little while ago. Okay, so this person narrowed down their list to these 5. When I am living my dreams, the life God made me to live, I am experiencing vibrant health and vitality in my whole body. I am working from anywhere with flexibility in how, where, and when I work. I am creating and sustaining deep, meaningful relationships with my family and friends. I am being an executive in charge of something. And number 5, I am trusting that all of my needs will be met in abundance. So your top 5, they are what's going to offer you a starting place when deciding how to spend your time and effort. Okay, so how do you know if your list of 5 is from God? How do you know that what you saw in your vision was from God? So I'm going to read to you a verse from Matthew chapter 7, verses 9 through 11. Which of you, if your son asks for bread, would give him a stone? Or if he who asks for a fish would give him a snake? If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your heavenly Father give good gifts to those who ask him? Okay, so here's a little exercise. How do we know if what we see is from God? I mean, I think the point of that verse is we asked God to be with us in this process. We asked God to guide the process. And we have invited God to show us what God wants us to see. What did God make us for in this season of our lives that would bring us joy and really bless others and those around us? So we have every reason to believe that God met us where we were and gave us what we've asked. If we asked him for bread, he wouldn't give us a rock. Okay, how do we know if what we see is from God? Ask and answer these questions as you go through your list of 5. Does my vision of a meaningful and fulfilling life stay within the boundaries that God set forth in Scripture? Will pursuing my dreams honor the boundaries of others in love? Are my dreams life-giving to me, and do they excite and enliven me? In other words, are you excited to get up and do this when you have free time to pursue these things? Do they challenge my comfort zones? That's a huge one. Will pursuing my dreams require sacrifice? Sacrifice is not the same thing as ditching your responsibilities, as we talked about a little bit earlier, but does it mean that you might have to set aside money in your budget that you haven't before? Or dedicate time and energy that you might have been doing something else, like watching TV or scrolling Twitter. If it requires sacrifice, probably from God. Do my dreams align with my core values? Do my dreams bless others? Do my dreams require faith? And would achieving my dreams help me to bear good fruit? Okay, so the process of using our spiritual eyes to look and see what God was showing us about our dreams and why He made us should be an exhilarating and even a little scary. And it requires maturity, wisdom, and a loving connectedness with the people in our community. Okay, so the Bible says that there are two kinds of wisdom. There are earthly wisdom and heavenly wisdom. And this is from James chapter 3. Who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. But if you harbor bitter envy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast about it or deny the truth. Such wisdom does not come down from heaven, but is earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and every evil practice. But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. Peacemakers who sow in peace reap a harvest of righteousness. Even if, let's just say, for example, even if you got it wrong, even if you saw something, even if what is on your list, there might be something there that is, in your opinion, selfish ambition, God can still redirect you. Do you trust God to do that? Let's just say maybe you did get something wrong on your list. Do you trust God enough to redirect you into something even better? God's wisdom is revealed by the Holy Spirit, 1 Corinthians 10, 6 through 13. We do, however, speak a message of wisdom among the mature, but not the wisdom of this age or of the rulers of this age who are coming to nothing. No, we declare God's wisdom, a mystery that has been hidden and that God destined for our glory before time began. None of the rulers of this age understood it, for if they had, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. However, it is written, what no eye has seen and no ear has heard, what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love Him. These are the things God has revealed to us by His Spirit. The Spirit searches all things, even the deep things of God. For who knows a person's thoughts except their own spirit within them? And in the same way, no one knows the thoughts of God except the Spirit of God. What we have received is not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit who is from God, so that we may understand what God has freely given us. This is what we speak, not in words taught by human wisdom, but in words taught by the Spirit, explaining spiritual realities with Spirit-taught words. If you're still struggling a little bit with the things on your list, I want you to try this little exercise. I am now ready, willing, able, and okay. I am now ready, willing, able, and okay to trust that God designed me with these unique abilities and dreams to bring me joy and to bless others. I am now ready, willing, able, and okay to take baby steps every day in pursuit of my dreams and trust God along the way. I am now ready, willing, able, and okay to embrace all that life has to offer despite trials and growing pains. I am now ready, willing, able, and okay to forgive myself for past mistakes. I am now ready, willing, able, and okay to embrace life situations that fit who God made me to be. I am now ready, willing, able, and okay to help others live their dreams too. I am now ready, willing, able, and okay to trust and allow God to redirect me into something else. Okay, your homework for this session, now that you have your top 5, I want you to write them on a few little cards. You can just get plain white index cards, or if you want to get fancy, you can go to the craft store and you get some colored paper and or some printed paper, stickers, whatever floats your boat and makes you happy. I want you to make a few index cards with your top 5. When I am living my dreams, the life God made me to live, I am, and then You write down your top 5, make, I don't know, 3 index cards, 5 index cards, however many you want. I want you to put them around you where you can see them. Maybe carry one in your car, put it on your dashboard or on your visor. Maybe put one in your purse or your pocket or your wallet. Maybe you can put one on your bathroom mirror so that when you see them in the morning, you'll just be reminded of them. And this is only until you memorize what's on it. I want you to just keep them in the forefront of your mind so that when choices in the day are presented to you, you can scan your list really quickly and see, do I spend time doing this thing that has been offered to me? Or do I say no to that and choose in favor of my dreams? Now, you're going to have to use some judgment here. Of course, you have to fulfill your responsibilities. And if you want to continue to maintain really high quality relationships with your friends and whatnot, it's okay to build, fun, things into your life that, aren't about pursuing your dreams. That's not what I'm saying at all. But you'll begin to tell really quickly when something is tugging at you that is vying for your time and attention, and you really need to say no. It might take a little practice for you to get there. Okay, so that's part 1 of your homework. Make 3 to 5 index cards with all 5 with your top 5 on them and place them around, carry one with you so that as you are presented with things, you'll know what to say yes to and what to say no to. Okay, and remember, it might not look like things might not unfold like you think they will, but it could turn out even better. Okay. All right. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to write one of your top 5. Like, I want you to take 5 sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper, and I want you to write one on each of these pieces of paper. So you're going to have 5 sheets of blank printer paper, and each one of them is going to have one of your top 5 on. Does that make sense? And then I want you to paste them up somewhere you spend a little bit of time. Like, that could be in your bedroom or in your home office or what have you. And put them horizontally across. And I want you to write really big on these pieces of paper too, so you can see it. And I want you to put them all in a straight line. And as you look at them each day, maybe you take 5 minutes and you look at it in the morning before you do anything else. And I want you to see if there's one that really jumps out at you, that just captivates you so wholeheartedly that you just can't contemplate what it would be like to not fulfill this dream. And then I want you to move that one up. Okay, so they're all in a straight line. When you look at it in the morning, if one jumps out at you and captivates you more than any of the other 4, I want you to just move it up a little bit so it's up above the other 4. Okay, and then I want you to do that every day for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days and see if that one remains at the top or if something else comes to the top. All right, so that's it. I think that's your homework to do those 2 things. And then, yeah, if you haven't noticed, I am walking you through the contents of the Dream Lab workshop right now. Over the past number of episodes, that's what I've been doing. I've just been giving you the content, and hopefully you have a journal and you've been, keeping up and keeping along. Maybe you're doing it with a friend. That'd be even better because it's always more fun with a buddy. Once you finish your homework, the next week, we're going to go on to the next bit of the Dream Lab. Thank you so much for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode of the Dream Lab, please subscribe and leave a rating and review. And consider sharing this episode with someone you think might enjoy it. It was a pleasure to spend time with you today. Until next time, bye for now.